Now, from the station on your side, you're watching Wavy News 10 on Fox 43.
Breaking updates pouring in tonight. An adoptive stepfather now charged with murder.
I have been praying and hoping that it's not true.
The answers family and the community have searched for since 2015.
Chaos in Chicago. Several deaths now reported after a mass shooting at a hospital. What police know tonight.
Rankin released.
We have a long way to go. Yes.
A former officer now out of prison. What his attorney says comes next.
And does slow and steady win the race?
We always say every vote counts, and certainly we need to make sure that holds true in this election as well.
Which local election is now headed to a recount? We are following several big breaking stories this Monday night. I'm Tom Shad.
And I'm Anita Blanton. First, we start with an arrest in a murder case that dates back to 2015. 18-year-old A.J. Hatzel's stepfather, Wesley Hatzel, now facing first-degree murder in the girl's death.
Hatzel was linked to but never formally charged in A.J.'s death. 10 at your side's Gina Havrilla talked with Hatzel's neighbors tonight and got their reaction to this news. Gina.
Tom and Anita, we went back to Wesley Hatzel's home, and the one thing all of the neighbors told us tonight, they cannot fathom the Wesley they knew being behind AJ's murder. Neighbors of Wesley Hatzel are trying to wrap their heads around this latest development in the mystery surrounding AJ Hatzel's death.
I mean, I'm totally shocked by this. I have been praying and hoping that it's not true.
AJ disappeared in March of 2015 while she was home for spring break. About a month later, investigators found her body partially buried behind a home in Southampton County. The cause of death was ruled homicidal violence and acute heroin poisoning. Investigators eventually turned their focus to Wesley after a GPS system in his work van led them to AJ's body. Still, he claimed he was innocent in a jailhouse interview 2 years ago.
You can say with confidence that you have nothing to do with the disappearance of Angelica.
Yes, sir. I can say with 100% confidence.
Neighbors I spoke to didn't want to go on camera, but all told me the allegations against him don't fit the Wesley they knew. This woman recalled how he fixed her heater in the middle of the night.
That's a guy that I know, the one that, looked out for other people. Anybody in this neighborhood that needed anything, he was there.
Although they're shocked, they're remembering AJ once again and waiting for what's next.
She was a beautiful girl. The world lost his sweet soul that day. If he did this, then he needs to pay.
Hatzel has also been charged with second-degree felony murder and felony concealment of a dead body. He's currently in prison for unrelated charges. Police say the process to bring Hatzel back to Southampton County for prosecution is getting underway, and we will, of course, continue to follow this story for you and bring you the latest updates as we get them. Gina Revelotin on your side.
And more breaking news out of Chicago now, where authorities are investigating a shooting at Mercy Hospital on the city's south side this afternoon. Officials now confirm 4 dead, including a police officer, 28-year-old Samuel Jimenez, and the suspected gunman. The other 2 were staff members at the hospital. Police say this began as a domestic dispute outside the hospital between a suspect and a woman who worked there. The man shot and killed her, then began firing inside the hospital. Investigators are still learning what happened tonight. We will keep you updated.
Also breaking tonight, Foreman Field is coming down. The new chapter for Old Dominion University is starting early. Demolition wasn't set to take place until tomorrow, but tonight we found crews hard at work on campus. The $65 million new stadium is set to be finished by spring. We'll have more coming up in the Sports Wrap.
Well, he is a free man for now. Today, former Portsmouth police officer Stephen Rankin left Dillwyn Correctional Center.
In 2016, he was sentenced to 2.5 years behind bars for the shooting death of unarmed teenager William Chapman. However, as we've previously reported, this case is far from over. 10 on your side's Brett Hall joins us live after speaking with Rankin's attorney tonight. Brett.
Well, by definition, Rankin is a free man. He paid his debt to society that the jury found him guilty of committing a crime. However, tonight talking to his attorney, Rankin is prepared to go back to prison if he can also try by clearing his name. It was at a Walmart on Frederick Boulevard on April 22nd, 2015 that a tragic series of events began. That day, it was Portsmouth police officer Stephen Rankin who responded to a call of a suspected shoplifter, and 18-year-old William Chapman II who was that suspect. The two started fighting, ending when Rankin shot and killed the unarmed Chapman. 3.5 years later,
we're not sure when the end is in sight.
Attorney James Broccoletti represents the now former Officer Rankin. Today, he was released from prison after serving 2.5 years for voluntary manslaughter in Chapman's death. An appeals court upheld that conviction last year, keeping him behind bars, but Broccoletti says the fight for his client goes on.
It's a matter of him being exonerated and clearing his name and removing a felony conviction from his record, which is a significant aspect.
Broccoletti says his client acted in self-defense the day of the shooting and has always maintained his innocence. In October, Virginia Supreme Court agreed to hear Rankin's case. With a completed prison sentence, nothing will change if Virginia Supreme Court also upholds his conviction. But if they don't?
If the court overturns the conviction, sends the case back for trial, he's convicted again of voluntary manslaughter, that he could get more time than the time that he's already served.
Broccoletti says Rankin is all in.
That's a risk that he's aware of and is willing to take.
Now, on Friday, Mary Elena Boloris, she talked to Chapman's family, and they said it is totally Rankin's right to ask for an appeal, but they say that will not change their pursuit for justice, even if the conviction is overturned. They say, and I'm quoting here, in order to move on, we have to forgive. We're not yet aware of when the Supreme Court of Virginia could hear this appeal. Reporting live in Portsmouth at the courthouse, Brett Hall, 10 on your side.
Now, you can find all of our coverage on this still developing story over on wavy.com.
Well, we're starting off a holiday week, and we know a lot of you are keeping a very close eye on that forecast. Ooh, gloomy still tonight, as we give you a live look from Tower Cam 10 here in Portsmouth.
Now, if you aren't traveling yet, you might be soon. Our chief meteorologist, Don Slater's in the Super Dopper 10 Weather Center. And as always, some big changes in the weather for the week.
Yeah, this time of year we get all kinds of big changes, and we're really getting them this week. Let's go to it. Have a look at what's going on. Temperatures right now. After a high temperature around 55, 58 degrees into the area, it hit 56 in Norfolk. Now we're down to about 50, 52 degrees into the region. So it hasn't dropped all that much since the height of the day. We're not likely to drop all that much during the overnight hours. It'll drop in the upper 40s and low 50s, and that's about it. That was our high for the day, 56, 4 degrees below average for this time of year. That was our low this morning, 4 degrees below average as well. Well, tomorrow we're going to be a little bit closer to average, a couple of degrees, 3 degrees warmer. We're likely to be 1 degree below average, the average being 60. The average being 60 for Wednesday as well. But we start to drop. We're 8 degrees below average. Then kaboom, the bottom just drops out during the day coming up on Thursday. And of course, Thursday being Thanksgiving Day, there'll be a cool breeze as well. Not cool breeze, it'll be a cold breeze. Then we start to recover a little bit on Friday, and then by Saturday we see some scattered rainfall into the area. So tomorrow a little bit warmer, but that's going to be it for warmer weather, because it's really going to, at least for a while, it's going to get cold. Temperature's going to be stepping on down, with really bottoming out, with things really bottoming out coming up on of course, Thanksgiving Day. Now here's a look at what we've got for the day. It looks like it'll be lots of sunshine, 38 to 42 for a high very, very early in the day, perhaps even toward dawn, and then temperature dropping through the 30s in the afternoon. It's going to be one of those days where, yeah, if you send the kids outside to play, they're going to need gloves and scarves and jackets and stocking caps. The whole works going on for Thanksgiving Day. We'll talk more about what's ahead. Lots of big changes. That'll be coming up in a few minutes.
So meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler has your updated Turkey Day forecast tomorrow morning.
Plus, Jen Lewis shows you what you can expect if you're hitting the roads. Join the entire morning team tomorrow for Wavy News 10 Today, starting at 4:30, and they're on air until 9 a.m. on Fox 43.
Now, 10 on your side is always your election headquarters, nearly 2 weeks after Election Day, and there's still contested contests in our area.
Tonight, we've learned a recount is being called in Virginia Beach for the Beach City Council race. Now, Councilman John Earn is requesting it. Results show him down 212 votes to David Nygaard, who is the councilman-elect. We talked with both candidates today. Earn said politics is out of the situation. This just comes down to the math.
Well, I mean, the math is the math. So I've certainly enjoyed the 12 years that I've had to spend on council, and I think we've gotten an awful lot of good things done during that time period. Would love to have another 4 years to do that, but I mean, you know, we'll wait and see what the numbers are.
I respect the process. Obviously, I'm hopeful for the outcome, I don't expect there to be a change, and either way, I'm going to continue to prepare for the next city council meeting.
There will be a court hearing next week for the courts to certify the recount. A recount has also been requested for the Bayside City Council seat.
Tomorrow, Mayor-elect Bobby Dyer takes the oath of office and becomes the new mayor of Virginia Beach. He's a longtime council member who ran against Ben Davenport for the office earlier this month. When Dyer becomes mayor, Sabrina Wooten will fill the rest of his term for the Centerville district.
New tonight, a sentence on child porn for a man in Virginia Beach. 33-year-old James Kinn will serve 27 years in prison after violating his probation. Now, back in 2011, Kinn was sentenced on the original child porn charges. He was released in 2015 on indefinite probation and arrested again earlier this year when police found more explicit images, marijuana, and meth in his apartment.
In Gloucester, a man is now facing sex charges. Deputies arrested 40-year-old William Inquist for aggravated sexual battery. The case involves a child left in his care. He's currently being held without bond. All new tonight, mourning the loss of a North Carolina teacher. How his community is coming together to honor him.
Plus, security at local schools will take you through the changes to keep your child safe.
And phony bills. Police in one Hampton Road city say they've seen dozens of cases so far. How you can spot the fake ones coming up.